Ladies and gentlemen, they say that if a crocodile tells you that the hippopotamus is sick, then you better believe it because they both reside in water. Moses Kuria, in an inclusive interview with the Citizen, revealed to the nation and to the whole world that William Samoei Ruto and his team has developed a habit of ferrying supporters wherever they go in their rallies. Welcome to our analysis. Moses Kuria is one person who is very vocal. And when he is on your side, you are very lucky because he knows how to handle opponents, political opponents for that matter. But who unto you if Moses Kuria is not on your side? Then you will know who the real Moses Kuria is. There has been this argument about the supporters of William Ruto because I've heard some analysts talking of recycling supporters, but I thought it was far-fetched. But I'm almost convinced that this is happening, especially when it is exposed by Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria is a man who speaks his mind. That is his nature. He is saying this against a backdrop of a near fallout between Moses Kuria and Kabogo. Moses Kuria and Kabogo are on one side and they feel being micromanaged and intimidated in Kenya Kwanza Alliance team because both Moses Kuria, William Kabogo, and Wamatangi are vying for a gubernatorial seat in Kiambu. But Moses claims that Rigathi Gachagua, who is the running mate to Deputy William Ruto, is campaigning for Wamatangi. And it is like they are not needed. It is like Wamatangi is given undue advantage. And Moses Kuria is asking that when it comes to presidential campaigns, William Ruto wants their support. When it is presidential campaigns, it is Kenya Kwanza. But when it comes to other positions like governorship, it narrows down to UDA. And he says that when it comes to the other seats apart from the presidency, then William Ruto now wants to encourage the electorates to consider only UDA members. This is not unique to the Kenya Kwanza alone because I think it was last week when Raila Amolo Odinga made entourage into Kisii County, to be precise, in Kisii town. Many of his supporters in the Luo Nyanza expected him to make that maiden visit with Martha Karua to Homa Bay, Kisumu, Siaya, and Migori. And in fact, there was an itinerary that had been shared by the presidential campaign team in Nyanza, led by John Mbadi and James Ongwae, the governor of Kisii. And they had given an itinerary that Raila was supposed to tour Kisii, Nyamira, then Homa Bay, because from Kisii just like a stone throw away to Homa Bay, then then Migori, Siaya. Then the culmination of that campaign, where Karua would receive a resounding welcome, uh, uh, um, was supposed to be in Kisumu, but later it was to be abruptly changed and postponed indefinitely. And sources say that it was because of the issue of managing a coalition government, because in Azimio One Kenya Alliance, even in Nyanza itself, there are other candidates who are vying, others are vying as independent candidate like Kidero, who is trying to give the ODM candidate, the gubernatorial candidate, Honorable Gladys Wanga. In Rome or in Migori, there we have Honorable Dalmas Otieno, a very seasoned politician, a KANU guy there, and is vying with the KANU ticket. Note that KANU, kindly note that KANU is an affiliate party in Azimio. And so Raila had to cut short this tour to iron out issues before he goes back to Nyanza. And I want to say, to submit to you that I believe that Raila knows how to handle this situation in a way that is not going to create havoc. Because if you look at how Ruto is managing his coalition and such differences with the affiliate parties, it's not the proper way, if you ask me. Because the other day, it was reported that the former governor of Kiambu, William Kabogo, had an altercation between him and Kimani Wamatangi. The issue was Rigathi Gachagua, who was leading the campaigns in Kiambu, kind of gave prominence to the UDA candidate there, Kimani Wamatangi, and Kabogo did not like it. Later, Kabogo would call his people, strong supporters, and told them that he would join Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, Moses Kuria is also complaining of the same. I want to believe that if you know very well that you do not support affiliate parties in your government, in the coalition, you better say it, because with only 50 days to elections, I can assure you this is going to rock Ruto's boat from within. If you look at William Kabogo has a chunk of support in that county because he had contested. He has faithful supporters. Same to Moses Kuria. He has a part of his support base there. So if William Ruto does not manage this very well, then it is going to cost him. But then I want to find out, why do you think that a party would then recycle supporters wherever they go? You know, politics is about perception. And I have a problem with the Kenya Kwanza team here, especially William Ruto. The other time, it was Dennis Itumbi when they last visited Jacaranda. Dennis Itumbi went to the archives and picked some picture, I think from, there's a church, there was a crusade that had very many faithfuls praying, and Dennis Itumbi picked this picture and shared it, telling the people that the Hustler Nation has spoken, because there was some kind of stone throwing. I think the Azimio, supporters of Azimio and supporters of Ruto somehow clashed. So Dennis Itumbi took to the social media to explain that the government and the system is afraid of the hustler nation. People scrutinized this picture and realized that it was a fake one. And very many analysts tried asking, why is Ruto so much obsessed with the crowds? And I want to believe that the perception that you have very many people is something that William Ruto is carried away with. Because how then would you explain to me that when you are going to Kiambu, you ferry people to Kiambu? When you are going to Jacaranda, the same faces are seen when you go. And I want to believe that these people cannot just abandon their businesses to follow you. So these campaigns must be very much oil. They must be using a lot of money. But by the end of the day, does it add any value to Ruto's campaigns? Because like I said, political speaking and with the perception, then maybe the opponents would think that yes, this crowd, the venue was full to capacity. And then in his mind, in the Ruto's mind, or in the mind of the Kenya Kwanza team, they now feel that when you show people and the media takes this kind of pictures, then they feel they are somewhere. But it does not help them, because the reality is, if you keep on recycling your people, the D-Day is coming. And then the reality now will dawn on them. I have a problem with recycling of supporters, because it creates this perception that you have people. What will happen when the Hustler Nation goes to vote and they realize that they actually didn't have the numbers? I have always said in this platform that there are two kinds of supporters. There are supporters who are, sometimes I call them the elite. They will scrutinize every move, every action, and every utterance. They will unearth something that is hidden. And such kind of supporters perhaps are aware that William Ruto, recycles his support base. But there is another group that believes that with that kind of crowd, William Ruto is already the president. And this is a time bomb in waiting. Because when people go to election and William Ruto does not win, then they will start asking, where are our numbers? And they will go to the streets and start. You understand what I mean? There will be chaos. Because if you're a supporter and you've been thronging those Viwanja and grounds, and then on the D-Day, you don't see the numbers, then you'll start saying that, kura imeibiwa. I think the second reason why these people do this is just to impress their supporters and maybe to intimidate the opponents. Because let's say people are going for some funeral occasion, like it happened when the late president, the immediate predecessor of Uhuru Kenyatta, in that burial, there was a crowd that cheered in the deputy president, and people asked, surely in a funeral, why would this happen? And the answer is now coming from the Moses Kuria, that these people are being ferried. And it is not good if this is being exposed now. Because with this kind of exposure, when everyone now knows that these people are being ferried, it works against William Ruto. It works against William Ruto. Why can't the Kenya Kwanza Alliance just campaign. Let them just sell the. I thought they have the bottom up economic model, and they want to give Kenyans wametenga mabilioni. They have set aside I don't know how many billions to help the mama mboga. Why can't they just sell their agenda without, recycling supporters? Supporters will come. They will convince, because is it it's like William Ruto is not convinced that his policies are getting into the hearts of his supporters. Because William Ruto is an orator, is very eloquent. Why should he then recycle supporters? It is because he knows very well, or he feels that all this kind of explanation about the bottom up, about the money that they have set aside to help is not sinking. And that is why they keep on recycling. Otherwise, he should have left every region. He should just go to a region and find out how many people like him and how many people love him. I don't know what to think from where you are. If you're a UDA supporter or a supporter from Kenya Kwanza, why? Can you tell me why do you think because this is a discussion that has been taking place for some times now. Let me ask you, if you create a perception that you have a large support base, in your meetings, when you now sit down and do your post-mortem of the rallies and where you want to go next, for example, I'm just imagining if William Samoei Ruto, Musalia Mudavadi, and Moses Wetangula, Rigathi Gachagua, Alice Wahome, if they sit down, when they sit down and they start now strategizing, are they really serious that they are going to win these elections? Because in their minds, they know very well that, we were in this place and it was full and it's being aired on TV. And you know very well, these are supporters, these are not genuine supporters. And you're looking at 50 days to general election. Are they serious that they want to win? Because let someone help me understand this. But I also have something for Moses Kuria. You cannot blame William Ruto because Moses Kuria wants to spill the beans now because there is a fallout between him and Rigathi Gachagua. And the issue here is that William Samoei Ruto is giving prominence to the UDA candidates. Yet they are also part of the Kenya Kwanza team. They signed a deal. In my recollection, I remember very well, William Ruto made it clear that all the parties that come that wants to join the UDA should be in the UDA so that they form a large party. In fact, he called all these other parties tribal. He never recognized them. It is only circumstances that forced Ruto to start embracing parties like ANC, like Ford Kenya, like Chama cha Kazi and all these. But deep down Ruto's heart, Ruto never embraced these smaller parties. In fact, when the Political Parties Act was being passed in Parliament, William Ruto charged his brigade to oppose this bill. And I want to believe that Moses Kuria was part of the team that opposed this bill. The bill was to finalize how coalitions can get together to be managed, sharing of the political parties' finance. It was very clear, but they opposed it. I don't know why Moses Kuria is now complaining, because he knew very well from the word go. Moses Kuria is a seasoned politician, and he knows very well that William Ruto never embraced these smaller parties. Why is he crying foul now? You see, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. It's a question of when you are when you are together in bed and feeling rosy, then everything is okay. But when things are not going well on your side, then you start complaining. I'm not blaming Moses Kuria, but I'm only saying that he should have seen this because he's a seasoned politician. Number two, William Samoei Ruto must come out and manage his team. Because just a week or 2 weeks ago, Musalia Mudavadi, who is a principal, a co-principal in Kenya Kwanza, cried out. In fact, went to what I could call into to his cocoon, the tribal cocoon, and pleaded with these people not to shame him because he was complaining that William Samoei Ruto is fielding candidates, the UDA candidates in his backyard, including Sabati, and he was asking his people, do you think in Surgoi, where William Ruto comes from, do you think they can elect a candidate, a Mani Kenya, the NC candidate? There is a problem. That very week, Cleopas Malala and Boni Halwale clashed because Boni was campaigning openly for Ayub Savula, I think the Kakamega gubernatorial candidate, the ODM candidate there. And now Moses Kuria and Kabogo are complaining. Honestly, there is a problem in Kenya Kwanza that must be addressed if William Samoei Ruto is serious that he wants to win the elections come August. I'm saying this because from all indications, if you recycle supporters and you expect to win an election, it means you're not serious. You don't want to win an election. If there is a lot of bickering in your team and you don't want to call them to order, it means you don't want to win this election. And in the end, I'm convinced that William Samoei Ruto might not be serious about the elections in 2022. He's looking at 2027. Perhaps this is just a moment to understand the voting bloc. He wants to study all the 8 provinces, which one will vote for him. Just because otherwise the way he's behaving is not serious. And even in Kiambu, the happiest man of all is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Because if Moses Kuria picks a chunk of the Kiambu votes, then William Kabogo a chunk of it. And then Kimani Wamatangi a chunk of it. Then it means that the Jubilee candidate there, I think Nyoro, who is the current governor of Kiambu, will sell through. And in the end, William Ruto will not win, will not have a gubernatorial there. His candidate will not win there, and William Ruto will not win the presidency there. That is my take. I just think that William Ruto is not serious if what Moses Kuria is anything to go by. That is my take on what Moses Kuria talked about, ladies and gentlemen.